Dragon Ball holds a special place in many of our hearts. The great fight scenes, the beautiful animation, but probably most of all, the great games we've had over the years. Unless you've been living under a freshly used Dragon Ball, you know about Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. And like many people, myself included, you are super hyped. However, I've had the nagging feeling about the way everybody is talking about this game online. Everyone is saying it's just like Budokai Tenkaichi 4, which they are right to say, but I fear simply describing it like that brings too much nostalgia into play. Remember that movie you watched as a kid that you absolutely loved, but when you watch it as an adult, you're just like, this is kind of mid. Yeah, that's what I fear will happen. People are connecting the great fun they had with the original Tenkaichi games in the past and not just expecting more of the same, but expecting this game to be even better. I mean, after all, it's a modern game with great graphics made by the same people who made the great games of our childhood. How could it not be better, right? While I am excited, I don't want to hype this game too much. After all, there is no way any game could live up to all the hype people are generating around Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. I mean, the game hasn't even come out yet, and it's already on the top selling charts in Steam. In recent memory, I can remember a couple of games that fell into the overhype trap. One, and probably the most popular, was Cyberpunk 2077. Now, if you remember the lead up to this game, everybody thought this was gonna be the game that broke all games. Not just because of the material they were putting out, but because of the track record CD Projekt Red had with its community. A couple of years before, they released The Witcher 3, which is still held to this day as one of the best video games ever released. Coming off the back of a great game such as The Witcher 3, everybody had their expectations through the roof for CD Projekt Red. However, they were not able to deliver. One, because our expectations were much too high, and two, because on release, the game was a mess. It had so many bugs. It was just an unfinished game. Now, while the part about the game not being finished isn't on us as consumers for our hype, it does make it worse when we were expecting so much and the game has so many bugs. I bring up Cyberpunk as a perfect representation of what we're going through with Sparking Zero for the anime community. CD Projekt Red had great rapport with its community beforehand, just like the Tenkaichi games have with us. They already gave us a great game in The Witcher 3 like the other Tenkaichi games, and now our expectations are through the roof for their next release that's looking amazing in all the trailers and all of the other content that they're putting out. And everybody is talking about this game online, praising it for how good it looks, how great it's gonna be, and that it's just gonna be the next best thing. With this, I hope you can see the comparisons between Sparking Zero and Cyberpunk 2077. The setup is the same, the circumstances are very similar. However, I do think that Sparking Zero will deliver, just not to the degree that everybody is expecting it to. Now, I have a couple of reasons why I believe this. The first red flag is the roster size. Now, while on one hand, it's great to have a great big roster for everybody to play and pick their favorite characters, like who doesn't want to play as Mercenary Tao versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Come on now, right? But there are also many drawbacks to having such a large roster. For example, having such a large roster means that developers have to work harder and longer to make these individual characters feel different. Whereas if they had 50 playable characters, they can make them all feel very different. But if you're closing in on 200, it's going to be very hard to make every single character feel distinct. And the developers might resort to just copy and pasting some moves for less well-known characters. The second part that I'm worried about is content being locked behind a paywall or microtransactions. Now, as you guys know, this was not around for the original Tenkaichi on PS2, because back then you got the full game, you got one disc and everything was on it. But now if you go to the Steam store, there's the pre-purchase edition for $70, then the deluxe edition for $100, and then the ultimate edition for $100 Now, do I think all of these additions actually add that much value? No. However, the feature where you can play 3 days ahead of release, I feel like that is worth paying extra if you're a content creator or you really just can't wait to get your hands on this game. But the other features, like getting extra characters early or a season pass, let's be honest guys, these are just money grab situations. Even if the characters are very good and you might want to play as them, why are they not just included in the full game? They're obviously already done, so it's not like a season pass where they make new content and then put it out. These characters are ready to go right now or will be ready to go on release, so the only reason they're putting them behind the paywall is to get more of your money. Now, as I've stated before, do I think Sparking Zero will be a total bomb like Cyberpunk 2077? No, I think it's looking up to be a great game. It looks fantastic and I'm very excited to play it. I just want everybody to be careful setting their expectations so high and to realize that there are a couple of red flags surrounding this game. So set your expectations realistically and be prepared to be disappointed on certain things because no game is perfect. But hopefully this game is very good. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Let me know if you think Sparking Zero will live up to the hype. Comment down below what you're most excited for. Comment down below what you want me to make a video about next. Thank you guys for all the support. Subscribe. Peace.